lot of you in the manosphere are thirsty for female energy. You want the royal cookie and you cannot get it. And because you want the royal cookie and cannot get it, you want to beat up on my sisters. Step your damn game.
So clearly, Dr. Umar Johnson is addressing the black manosphere. And he says that you need to step your game up. Is that right? Is that right?
Good afternoon, America and the rest of the world. Xander J. Hobson here, stand-up comedian, entertainer, director and producer of boxing documentaries and internet troll to those who need internet trolling. This here is another episode of The Devil's Advocate, brought to you by the Brilliant Artist Movement. Folks, I'm trying to grow the platform, so please subscribe, like this video, share it, and by all means leave a comment in the comment section, because I enjoy checking out the feedback from these videos that I make, as well as exchanging opinions and points of views with you all. Now, if you are a detractor and it is your nature to detract, I encourage you to do so. But just know, if you become belligerent in my comment section, I'm going to match your energy. I am the troll's troll, and trolling me will not be tolerated.
A lot of you brothers in the manosphere are angry at black women because you can't get the ones you want. That's not a political problem. That's a beta male self-development issue. No disrespect, and I know it's not everybody. Don't get mad at black women because you can't get the ones you want. You understand me? Now, if we got issues with sisters, and we do, that need to be addressed. But a lot of you are not about the political development of the black family. You are not about a solutions-oriented approach to black male-female relationship conflict. You are simply mad at black women because you can't land no cookies.
You goddamn right we mad. We can't get the women that we want because they've been messing around with niggas like y'all and fucking up and fucking over and everything. And by the time we get to them, all we get is cellulite and stretch marks and accordions and shit like that. What the fuck is wrong with you, Doc? And black men aren't supposed to say anything about it. Let me tell you something what's really bothering these dudes, because these dudes are the whisperers of the ladies. They're the BFF whisperers. They're the black female fuckery whisperers. Let me tell you what the real problem is. The real problem is that the black manosphere led by Kevin Samuels, as I said it, the black manosphere led by Kevin Samuels done busted this whole thing up. Black men are here to stay, ladies. We have a right to be heard. We have a right to have our concerns taken seriously, and God damn it, you're going to do it one way or the other.
So anyway, I just got finished watching Obsidian's spirited response to Dr. Umar Johnson's rather harsh critique of the brothers in the manosphere. Now, before we go any farther, I want to say this. I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Umar Johnson and Obsidian Mumia in person. Met Dr. Umar Johnson a couple of times, and I had the pleasure of meeting Obsidian Mumia Ali and his beautiful lady, Miss Brown Sugar, a couple of weeks back. Now, I really don't understand what Obsidian is bitching about, because he has a beautiful young lady.
I am one of the founding fathers, one of the three kings of the black manosphere, also known as Black Manosphere 2.0.
But on the other hand, I do understand that Obsidian is a spokesman for the underdog, and Obsidian is doing what he needs to do to generate clicks and views. But nevertheless, when it comes to this conversation about men and women, and women being mad for the men that they can't get, and men being mad for the women they can't get, it's all a bunch of hogwash. I just done a video on the late drug kingpin Alpo Martinez, And if you know anything about Alpo Martinez was a good-looking guy. He was the type of guy that women lined up to get a crack at. Well, everybody isn't that lucky. If you're not an incredibly good-looking person where members of the opposite sex flock to you like flies, you have to work for what you want. Point blank, period. In this world that we live in, and I'm talking to you younger folks because old folks should know this, there are going to be folks that you like that's not going to like you, and there's going to be folks that like you that you're not going to like. It's not personal. You want what you want. And in all honesty, would you really want to be with a person who you didn't want? So if you wouldn't want to be with a person who you didn't want, why should a person who don't want you be with you? But most important, would you really want to be with a person who doesn't want you? I mean, this whole thing that we've seen with Will and Jada Pinkett Smith is all a result of a man being with a woman who really didn't want him. Some food for thought. And again, Obsidian's old lady, Miss Brown Sugar, very nice looking woman. However, that event we were at, there were quite a bit of hags in there. And I doubt very seriously that Obsidian Mumia Ali would have been sitting up in that venue that we was in, all booed up with one of those hags that was in that venue. But again, I understand the conversation. It's all thought-provoking, it's sensationalism, and it gives folks something to talk about.
A lot of you brothers in the manosphere are angry at black women because you can't get the ones you want. No disrespect, and I know it's not everybody, but a lot of you brothers in the manosphere are angry at black women because you can't get them.
With regard to the charge that you brothers are just mad because you can't get the women that you want, so brothers are supposed to accept any old woman then? The answer is yes. In black America, a brother is supposed to just accept whatever he get, irrespective as to what he has accomplished. As a matter of fact, I'll take it a step further. The more a brother is accomplished, the less he's expected to have standards. You are supposed to be graceful and gracious and grateful for whatever you can get as long as it's a black woman. Moreover, I further say that the more accomplished you are as a black man, the more you're expected to accept less in a black woman. Case in point, Michael B. Jordan.
When it comes to this particular conversation, I think I gotta lean toward Dr. Umar Johnson, because one of the things that I've noticed in these black YouTube spaces, most of the venom is about the fact that somebody is upset about a failed relationship. And because they had a failed relationship, they want to go out here and browbeat every single person of the opposite sex because they had a failed relationship. Often enough, the problem more than likely might have been them. Not saying that the other person doesn't have some culpability, but in some cases, is the problem you or is the problem the other person? And if the problem is in all actuality the other person, you mean to tell me you didn't see that going in? You didn't see that at the very beginning? Again, get a lot of these guys that get on here and talk about they don't want to deal with baby mamas owing to the fact that they got into a relationship with a baby mama or a single mother who somehow done them dirty. Wait a minute. You knew that woman was a single mother going in. Now, there are times when you are in a relationship with a person and things could happen that you don't see. For example, you might hook up with a person and they are a cheater. And they might be a very skilled cheater. And you might find out 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even 10 years into the relationship that they are a cheater. Well, in that case right there, you are the victim. But in a case where the writing is clearly on the wall, you have no alibi. Now, I said all of that to say this. Obsidian went on to talk about Michael B. Jordan. Obsidian basically describing Michael B. Jordan as one of the top tier men in the black community, or something to that effect. Well, no doubt that Michael B. Jordan is a successful actor who is very wealthy, and he's known around the world owing to his celebrity status and being in numerous movies. But when it comes to women, he clearly chose wrong when he chose Steve Harvey's daughter. Now, I don't know the dope on Steve Harvey's daughter, but according to the buzz on the internet, Steve Harvey's daughter is a humdinger. Now, she might be a beautiful woman. Her father, well, her stepfather might be a very wealthy and rich guy. But if Steve Harvey's stepdaughter is a floozy, what does that say about Michael B. Jordan if he knowingly and willingly hooked up with a chick who was a floozy? You can't look at Michael B. Jordan's success or failure with a woman who was a floozy. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Michael B. Jordan could have almost any woman that he wanted, that he wants in the world. But he chose a real humdinger and a bit of a floozy. So, these were my thoughts. And again, I just wanted to touch on that. Dr. Umar Johnson and Obsidian Mumia are my guys. But when it comes to this particular conversation, I'm going to have to lean toward Dr. Umar Johnson. I'm done with it.